we are a go.
So it's going?
It's going.
So we're in the middle of it?
We are recording actively.
Oh, wow. So welcome to the latest episode of Background Noise.
You are joined today by just us. Oh, we're the only ones, whatever it is. Let's turn that down. That's not in the background. That's the foreground.
Well,
you're joining us after a series of technical difficulties.
Which are still ongoing. As far as I'm concerned.
But we're rolling with it. We're in the thick of it now.
It's been a while since our last episode.
How long has it been?
Like a month or a year and 2 months.
Let me count the days.
Are you checking? You're checking something.
No, I've accepted the fate that we are currently engaged in. We have a backup going, which is probably we're probably going to rely on the backup. George Lucas presents.
Oh yeah, what are we watching today? I should move my seat so I can actually watch the movie.
Yes, that makes sense. Let me do that as well.
Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, we're watching Howard the Duck today.
Howard the Duck.
I should have set it up with something better than that. We're watching George Lucas's most underrated picture. Well, here's the thing: it's a George Lucas production, but did he? What was?
As most of them are, he is not the director of this film.
Right. What is his involvement in this picture, Isaac?
He's the producer.
What is that? But what does that mean?
This is a Lucasfilm production.
Because George Lucas, historically, I feel is a little bit.
I feel like you should move your mic
away.
I think you should put your jacket back on and clip it to your jacket. The technical difficulties prevail. Yeah, there you go.
That's better?
Get it away from your hair.
Oh yeah, I was doing a little
crispy sound.
Oh wow. What if I just hold it like this?
I mean, you can do that.
Is it on mute?
No, it's not on mute.
Okay. What does that
Better
do?
not be on mute. It's supposed to be mute, but it's having technical difficulties.
Okay.
You don't have the ability to mute. If you need to cough, you just ride through the cough.
Is this better if I just hold it like this?
I would clip it, but it's entirely what your comfortability is, I suppose.
I'm more comfortable doing this.
Sure, you can do that. It'll just get a little handling noise. You'll see he's already Lucas putting in some self-referential stuff here.
So this is
we've entered an alternate reality where that's actually very annoying. You should clip it. Clip it to your pocket or something. There you go.
This thing's gonna fall on top of it.
Yeah, you're right. Here, we're gonna do this. There we go.
We're doing it.
There we go.
We haven't even talked. What? All right, let's. Music composed by John Barry.
John Barry.
Wow, he's actually a great composer.
I mean, it's got a great score, and some rock and roll as well. But yeah, we've entered an alternate reality here where the Darwinian champion, if you will, was not the Homo sapien or the ape, but rather the mallard.
Oh, the duck.
And so I feel like that's the contention number one I have here is people get very hung up on he's a duck, but he's no more a duck than you or I are chimpanzees.
I guess it's true.
He's not necessarily a duck.
So this is I see. So, but then he travels through time to Earth.
He travels through the multiverse. Truly the first Marvel multiverse film.
Wow.
Howard the Duck. Yeah, executive producer George Lucas. There he is. So it does really touch a lot of cultural, like.
You want to full screen it?
Yeah, let's full screen it.
Unless we need the other thing open.
It kind of touches in some small way all of Disney's biggest sub-properties. Because you got George Lucas, best known arguably for the Star Wars films, now owned by Disney. You've got it's based on Marvel Comics, studio now owned by Disney. And at least as the legend goes, he lost so much money on this film
that he had to sell Pixar.
Owned, of course, by the Walt Disney Corporation.
Excuse me, I'm opening up my can of Waterloo sparkling water, mojito mocktail.
Mojito mocktail. Duck tits. No context.
No. What's the rating for this film?
You know, it's a good question. I'm gonna assume R, based on the remainder of the content.
Really? Because you've seen... Oh, yes, you've
But
seen
it
this
could
film.
be PG-13.
It's a soft R.
It's a soft R. Because yeah, this would be post. This would be
Yes,
after.
it would be post all that stuff.
Yeah, right.
This is from the 90s.
Effects, pretty good.
Seems quite random.
ILM put in the work. Yeah, he's been randomly selected, I guess you could say.
I forgot where my mic was for a second.
Found it.
Yeah.
Good.
So it's been a long time since we've done one of these.
It's been a long time.
We gotta get back into the swing of it. We're kind of out of it. We also spent the last 45 minutes
Technical difficulties.
because we haven't done this in so long.
Because we haven't done this in so long.
We tried
And
new equipment.
We're using beta equipment that doesn't work how it ought.
Yeah.
But we forced our way in. We have a backup recording in case it does suck.
The last time
What
we
was
did
our
this,
last?
It was Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh, you're right.
It was the 2023 roundup.
The 2022
Two roundup in 2023.
In 2023, we were joined by Mr. Marshall.
Who has since then been exiled to an island.
To a separate group chat.
An island off the coast of Italy, so he should be he should be of no consequence anymore. He's that Corsican's been dealt with.
There you go.
Oh, so now there's
Now
humans.
he's entered the human realm. He's experiencing the typical human experience of when you randomly land in an armchair in an alleyway and are attacked by some extremely flamboyant punks. We've all been there.
So far, this has been a promising experience.
Like I said, it's definitely one that I initially watched maybe 6-7 months ago for bad movie night, expecting to enjoy it
In the ironic way.
Schadenfreudisk,
Yeah.
ironic way, but had a very genuinely pleasurable experience.
Well,
I think it's an excellent film.
Well, I can't wait to...
There are layers.
Are there? Well, I can't wait to discover some of those layers.
Yeah. I mean, I'm curious. Yeah, I'm curious how much you'll get out of it without actually engaging with it.
Yeah.
We chit chat.
As his background is. So what should we even talk about?
Do you want to talk about? Because it has been
A year.
over a year.
Yeah.
Do you have 2023 films that you would particularly like to highlight?
Oh yeah, just to get. Even
I guess
though
I don't have my top 10 list,
We're
but
halfway
we
through the
can
year.
Go through.
We're halfway through the year of 2024, and I already feel
Some
like I could make a
honorable
top 10 list
mentions.
for 2024.
Sure, we can do that instead.
We don't have to do that.
We'll never let the people know what we thought of 2023.
Yeah. I mean, it was a terrible, terrible year, but it might be. It might go down as one of the great years of cinema history.
2023?
Yeah. I saw nothing but quality movies in 2023. There's at least 3 or 4 films I saw that year that I think were the greatest films I've ever seen.
Give me your examples.
So we're doing this. I gotta talk about movies.
Give me your life. If you're gonna bring up life-changing films.
Well, then I am
hear
gonna
about
definitely.
those.
I can recall my top 10 actually.
Okay.
I'm just gonna run right through it. We're gonna do a speed run.
Please do.
Top 10 of 2023. Let me see. Let me get the order right in my head for a second. Okay, so as I recall, number 10 was The Holdovers,
Okay.
which I just thought was a nice warm cup of milk as a movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
that's a
just
nice movie.
it was a drama, but it wasn't really a hard-hitting drama. It was just like, this is just nice. And it's the kind of movie where I thought, oh man, they don't make this like this anymore. This whole movie is they don't make it like this anymore.
Yeah. Okay. I see that.
You know what I mean? That's the vibe of the film,
Yeah, absolutely.
and I appreciate it. I needed that.
Harkens back to an older era of filmmaking.
Yeah. And it was around the same time that I was really getting into Lav Diaz music and his songs in the movie, and I was like, this is a great soundtrack.
Nice.
Soundtrack's great. It's got a cat.
does have a great soundtrack.
Any movie with a Cat Stevens song in it tends to be a good one. That's like a rule of thumb, because there's not that many that have them.
Sure.
There's like 5 or 6 I can think of that have a Cat Stevens song in them.
And all the ones are good.
They're all good. There's no bad movie with it because he approves the movie. He owns his music, so he approves people using his songs. So he's got to like
The
watch
buck
them.
stops here.
Yeah. So
it is impressive, for lack of a better word, that he made a successful, well-received, poor rich white boy movie in 2023.
I think the world
That's
needed
not
that.
lost on me.
The world needed that.
You know, it's funny because the film that it most reminded me of was the Emperor's Club.
That's what yes. History is a study of the present.
Very good. Very good.
Thank you. I've been working on my Paul Giamatti.
Very good. Which actually, I feel like now I'm going to put you on the spot and request your Kevin Kline.
Oh, I can't do that right now.
Well, you didn't come prepared with
I forgot all about it. I can kind of do him, Mr. Fish Odor. Oh, yes, the Belchers. Yes, oh, the
That's
little
very good.
Belcher children. Oh,
But again, I crave
the Emperor's Club. We
Club.
should do a separate episode on just. We could do a separate episode on Kevin Kline movies.
Yeah,
Kevin Kline roles, and also a separate one on just like great teacher dramas.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that's its own subgenre.
It's a genre for sure.
Number 9.
But go ahead.
Well, you say what you were gonna say.
Oh, it was funny because I think what prompted my message to you regarding Costner-Klein showdown was he had like a weird little era there of playing like the vaulted professor, because I also rewatched Orange County.
Oh my God.
And he appears
that's the
just
one.
at the very end there.
The one with Jack Black's in that, right?
Jack Black and the Hanks kid. Colin Hanks.
That's the Jake Kasdan film.
Yes, exactly.
I remember the trailer for that movie.
Yeah.
So because they throw the orange at the screen and it splats and goes Orange County.
You're exactly right. That's what happens.
2003? 2002?
2002, I want to say.
Yeah. What a time to be alive.
That song Butterfly plays at least 4 times, maybe 5. So I got my shifty shell shock fix, which I have every now and then.
Planet, no, that's the city.
You're intrigued by this meet cute with Howard the Duck and
Are they gonna
Marty McFly's
bone?
mother. I'm not gonna
With
spoil
who's?
it for you.
Oh, is that Marty McFly's mother?
That is the actress who portrayed Marty McFly's mother. I don't remember her name.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's a punk rocker with a shitty manager who encountered Howard the Duck in this alleyway.
So we're in Cleveland.
Yeah, we are in Cleveland.
Ugh, how unfortunate.
The second worst of all the Ohio cities.
The first one, of course, being
Cincinnati.
Toledo. Oh.
I guess I should be more specific. The Ohio cities that begin with C.
Oh, yeah.
Because you got Columbus, which is the capital, Cleveland, which has the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and Cincinnati, which is the other one.
They got chili.
They do have chili.
That's not really chili.
Multiple ways to have chili.
That's right.
But sorry, I've sidetracked this long enough. Number 9.
Number 9 was the Killer, David Fincher film.
Yeah.
That's
nice.
a good. That was. I have nothing more to say other than it's just a really good exercise in something wrong with the mic.
No, you're good.
A really good exercise in just like genre filmmaking, and I wish they all were this clever and
fun
and just fun and neat and clever and yeah, and
like it.
And it was just very satisfying in every way.
Nice.
It definitely feels like it's another one of those movies where I think if I was a teenager watching it, I would think this is the most incredible film. That's true of every David Fincher film, though. So many of his films are films that if I saw them as a teenager, I would have thought this is the coolest thing ever. Like Fight Club.
Yeah,
That's the ultimate teenage boy movie.
That is a teenage boy movie.
Or Seven, or The Social Network. These are all teenage boy films.
Sure.
He's like Michael. So he's like Michael Bay, but actually like intelligent. Like he's a sophisticated version of him.
I see it.
With like some real like gravitas. Like he's the version of Michael Bay that could win an Oscar.
Got it.
Number 8, Napoleon.
I still haven't seen that one.
And I'm telling you, I'm sure once I see the director's cut, that one might be a top 5 movie.
Okay.
Because
bold.
First of all, the thing I'm thinking about it now. This audio thing is gonna drive you crazy.
Oh, it's gonna drive me nuts the whole time. So we're just gonna accept it. Again, there's a backup. which will sound something.
It'll sound like something.
This also sounds like something.
I can't wait to edit this and none of it's usable.
This audio upgrade is not what I expected it would be.
See, as terrible as the audio often sounds when we do this show, it's shocking how much editing I do have to do on the audio. And I think,
It's unfortunate.
you know what I mean? It's like, it could be much worse, people.
It could be a lot worse. Yeah.
And I'm not the most talented person on
It's part of the charm.
on DaVinci Resolve, but
Part of the charm of
I
it,
can move
really.
bars up and down.
Sure. Levels should be fine.
Levels-
It's just, is it getting squelched? Probably. Probably a lot. Is there anything we can do about it at this point? There isn't, so we're rolling.
It's just amazing how much of a comedy that movie was. Napoleon was a comedy.
Yes, you've said that.
It really is a funny movie. Even thinking about it now, I remember the funny stuff. Where they're having dinner at one point. It's like a husband and wife arguing at a dinner table, and she goes, "You're fat," and he just goes, "I enjoy my meals.
I enjoy my meal.
I do." Destiny has brought me here. Destiny has brought me this lamb chop.
It's pretty good.
That's an actual exchange in the movie.
It's
a
the only
funny
thing
movie.
that I remember really
He's good
well
with kids in that movie.
is Brian Cox just absolutely shitting on the portrayal.
Well, Brian Cox is an angry old man.
He is.
He's so deep in the method he never got out.
He's a Shakespearean booster.
Yeah. Wow, Howard's been traumatized.
Yeah, well, if you got
being
pulled,
sucked into a
if you got pulled
vortex.
through a multiversal portal against your will,
It's not really. Is it explained why?
you suddenly ended up. We get there.
Okay,
I mean,
so-
it's not necessarily explained why Howard himself is quite the random, but we do discover how it came to be that he's pulled in. Not that he was
Talk
necessarily
about an
targeted.
identity crisis. Look,
Fun little fact on the production. So they filmed before they did the voice recording, and then they wanted to
looks like
cast
Star Wars
Robin Williams
to do
it.
Oh,
And he tried,
but then they realized
but he's like, I can't sync up to this pre-recorded duck lip movement. I need to be able to improvise.
Yeah.
And so they ended up with whoever the fuck this is.
Yeah, Chip Zine, something like that is his name.
Sounds right. I'm not familiar.
Sounds about right. They should have just gotten Dan Castellaneta,
Yeah.
just
I
like
mean,
they did
the
for Aladdin
classic.
2. He's the stand-in Robin Williams.
He's
Anyway.
the bargain bin Robin Williams.
Number.
Always frustrating to see these apartments in New York for or Cleveland, I guess.
Yeah.
But still, Cleveland.
That looks like a
someone's
studio.
Oh, I don't have any money. You're like,
I don't have any money.
you have a pretty nice apartment for no money.
I don't know. In Cleveland, you might be able to get a pretty nice apartment for no money. Remember when we were
should
staying
try.
in Cincinnati?
We should try. Yeah, I
That was
do.
a pretty nice apartment.
Yeah, but I assume that
She does make money.
I assume Molly does very well for herself. She gives me
That's
the
true.
impression of a very successful businesswoman.
I guess it's true. She runs a business?
I don't know. I don't know what Molly does.
We don't know. We should get to know her
Tommy,
more.
if you're listening, that's your homework.
Yeah.
Or that's it. Maybe that's
Sorry, 8. No, we've
7.
done 8. 7.
What was 7?
cosmic cause.
Oh shit. See, now I'm stuck now. I don't remember what 7 was. I remember what... No, wait, I do remember what 7 was, because I think it was it's a Knock at the Cabin.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think it's just a really good M. Night Shyamalan movie. He's been doing great work. I'm happy for him. I can't wait for Trap.
I didn't like it, but, I respect the opinion.
Number 6. So the top 6, I would definitely say some of them are some of the best movies I've ever seen in this top 6.
All right. We're
So,
getting into the
but
real
so
stuff.
as a result, the movies have jumped around in my head from time to time. So this number 6 was at one point number 4.
Okay,
And my
sure.
number 3 was in my number 6. So you know what I mean?
Choices. Yeah.
Except for except for number 1, really. They've all kind of jumped around a little bit.
Okay.
So number 6 is his Brazilian documentary by the name of, in English, the title I think is Pictures of Ghosts.
I recall your message.
Retratos
about this.
Fantasmas is a Brazilian film by Kleber Mendonça Filho, which is he's a Brazilian director who's known now. He's become like internationally art house director. Who's made films like Bacurau, which is like the sci-fi horror action western movie that came out in 2019, and Aquarius and Neighboring Sounds. He's done some good work. And this is a documentary he did about movie theaters in his hometown of, I think It's been a while because I haven't seen it in like a year, but I think it was in Recife in Brazil. I think that's the city. I could be wrong. But he was just talking about the movie theaters in his hometown. The whole movie's about, the movie theaters that have shut down, and also how his apartment shows up, the apartment that his family lived in, he lived with his mother, shows up in a lot of his movies, and how it's changed over time. And it's just about the passage of time and recording things and how things change, and the idea of ghosts in the machine, that kind of thing.
Beautiful.
Memory as a ghost. It's a beautiful film. It's one of the greatest Brazilian movies I've ever seen. If I were to make a list of the top 10 Brazilian movies I've ever seen, I feel like at least 6 of them would be documentaries. They're really good at documentaries. I don't know why.
I don't know why.
They just are. So
Sure.
that's my number 6.
like
It's a must-see, I think.
Okay.
These are must-see films. Number
Haven't seen
5.
one. I'm going to interrupt you briefly to address an inaccuracy
Oh, yeah?
in this film. At least, again, he's a duck.
Cleveland kind of looks popping here.
It does. As we've established, he's a duck in the sense that he's something that's evolved from a duck.
Yeah.
But in the last scene we just saw, she violates his privacy and goes through his wallet, encounters a number of things that have various duck puns on our reality. But the last thing she pulls out is a condom that he's keeping in his wallet, which is maybe the size of a penny.
Oh, here we go.
However,
Oh, good Lord.
I have come into the knowledge that the duck is no slouch in that department. The average duck penis being corkscrew shaped, and the average length between 7 and 10 inches. Unsurprisingly, the record belongs to an Argentinian subspecies of duck, which has a 17.5-inch, 42 centimeters for our European listeners, long penis. So, not really a fair representation there in that scene. I want to give Howard the benefit of the doubt.
Well, maybe it's it's oblong, so it's really long, but it's thin.
Yeah, you're right. I guess we don't see the condom unroll.
We don't see the it could roll very very
roll
far.
very, very far. You're right. Benefit of the doubt to the production design.
But
I just feel like they didn't do their research as much as they could have.
What I'm hearing is that this gave you an excuse to look up the size of duck penises.
I do this for the show, Fabrizio.
That's what I'm hearing.
This is my work.
Okay, yeah, sure. Your work. I've seen your work.
This is my work. I take it very seriously.
Yeah. Okay. Number 5.
Number 5.
He's touching me right now, folks. He's messing with my mic.
Carry on.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
Does it meet your approval?
Yeah, it's fine.
It's standard.
It's accepted.
It's gonna be. It is what it is, isn't it?
I'm gonna fix it. And then you're gonna tell me number 5. Look at this. You got these conveniently holes. That's a nice scratchy sound. Look at that. Now we're great. Carry on. Number 5.
Number 5. What is number 5? Number 5. Okay, so I've decided to make this number 5. It was number 4 a second ago in my mind.
Oh wow.
Number 4 and 5 have switched again because I keep switching. Number 5 is Fallen Leaves by Aki Kaurismäki.
Okay.
It's a Finnish movie. He's a pretty well-known international filmmaker at this point for his kind of dry sense of humor kind of films. These kind of really sparsely sparsely not lit but just designed. The production design is very minimal in his films. You'd like that about them.
I bet I would.
And shot on film usually, almost exclusively.
Okay.
And again, people have a lot of neutral angles. Think of Wes Anderson, but not. It's not that. It's its own thing. Very dry, funny kind of films. And this one's just about it's a romance. Two people who try and meet each other, and the life just keeps getting in the way of them ending up together. And it's beautiful. It's amazing.
Movie.
It's one of the great romances of the last 20 years.
Not familiar, but
Fallen
this
Leaves.
is on the must-see list. Okay.
Yeah, it's on Mubi right now, actually.
Okay.
So subscribe to Mubi, folks. We're getting sponsored.
Hashtag non-spawn.
The goal. I'm sure if we went back, if we listened to the old podcast episodes, I'm sure several times we've talked about how the goal is to get a sponsor.
Sure.
We're never getting one.
No, absolutely.
But if we were to get one, I'd be really happy with Mubi being one.
Because we say real shit.
Okay, yeah, we that's right. We're too.
I can't be limited.
These liberal snowflakes.
I can't be editing myself.
Wouldn't know what to do with us.
Monetization.
So subscribe to Mubi, folks. Some really great curation going on there.
I don't know how they feel about the duck penis fact.
I'm sure
But I can imagine
they appreciate
that falls into the line with their programming.
I think
at
this is
some
actually
point.
it's quite
There's
tame.
crossover.
It's quite tame for their programming.
Excellent.
Yeah.
We accept it.
Number 4. So number 4 is a film that I saw in February of 2023, or maybe March of 2023.
Some early sluts here.
This one I saw very early. It was the last time I've seen a movie at the Music Box.
Okay.
It was Paul Schrader's Master Gardener.
Nice.
I like Paul Schrader. I find him very amusing. I love reading his Facebook posts.
Nice.
He just can't help himself. He has no filter at this point in his old age. But I've never loved his movies as a director as much as I wanted to.
Okay.
Except this one.
This is the exception.
This is a great movie. This might be the best thing he's ever done. Do you want to move it closer?
No, you're fine.
This might be the best thing he's ever done. It's a movie that is basically, the premise is, it follows a series of films he's made about lonely men in rooms with journals.
Yes.
Like First Reformed.
This one I did see some of.
Yeah, so
On a plane.
it's part of the trilogy. First Reformed, and then there was the card counter, and now we have Master Gardener. And the premise is that Joel Edgerton is a guy who runs a private garden for Sigourney Weaver, and he was a former neo-Nazi.
Yep.
And that's all you need to know. And I saw it. I was amazed by it. My esteem for it has only grown over time. My father saw it. My father, quite randomly, on Hulu, I think it was on at some point in the last year. And he didn't go into it with the context that I have about Paul Schrader and all that stuff. But he watched and he said, I saw this movie, Master Gardener. I said, hey, what'd you think of it? He said, incredible movie.
Incredible.
It's got my dad's seal of approval. That's how you know it's quality cinema.
Quality.
It might be the best Paul Schrader movie ever. This is better than Mishima. Better than Affliction, better than American Gigolo.
High praise.
This is Master Gardener, folks. A must-see film. Another one of the great romances too of our times. As it turns out,
I didn't finish it, but
turns into a
I'll
romance.
have to take your word for that.
Number 3 is a shame because again, we talk about Paul Schrader, we talk about Marty. Any other year, I think Paul Schrader's film would have been even a little bit higher on the list. But then Martin Scorsese had to come out.
Son of a bitch.
With Killers of the Flower Moon. And that is another one of the monumental movies. You saw Killers of the Flower Moon?
I did.
Right? Yeah, I saw that maybe twice at this point. It's a long movie.
That's a commitment.
Talk about long. We'll talk about long movies in a second.
All right.
But that at 3.5 hours or something like that, it is a commitment. Seen it twice now, maybe a third time. Maybe I can't recall if I saw it with someone else. But it's phenomenal. It's monumental. It's epical.
It's monumental.
It's stupendous. It's every single great adjective you can think of. Just go watch it. I'm not even gonna. If you don't know about it at this point, you're living under a rock. Killers of the Flower Moon. Okay. And again, in any other year, that would have been number 1 on my list. But then number 2 was a film that came out that same year, and it was a big deal when it came out. It was one of the big deals of that year. You know which one I'm talking about. It's something that you don't particularly love. It's the one that Hans Zimmer chose not to compose because he was too busy with Dune. It was Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer.
Yeah. Right.
That movie's my Avengers. There's no other way to put it.
I'm happy for you.
Part of it is...
I'm happy for everyone.
When I say that, what I mean is that the real-life characters portrayed in this film, the scientists, the physicists, who helped to create the bomb, these are people I studied growing up. I found them all very fascinating people. And then here's a movie that's about them making the bomb. And I'm just watching them in the movie and hearing all their conversations, and I just think, wow.
Some nice small Chicago shout-outs.
I was fangirling.
It's cute.
When Cillian Murphy and Kenneth Branagh are talking to each other.
Uh-huh.
Can you hear the music, Robert? It's like, yes, I can. Because the music is literally in every scene of this film.
We'll go to.
That's right.
We'll study Heisenberg.
That's right. Yeah, they're studying what, heavy water?
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Deuterium, baby.
That's right. They were going down the wrong road with that one. But yeah, I love that movie. And Paul Schrader actually gave that film a seal of approval. He said that this might be the most important film of the 21st century.
That's quite the review.
So yeah, that's my number 2. And you might be thinking to yourself,
Can't remember how Howard ended up in the whorehouse. Sorry, just wanted to mention that.
That we're in a whorehouse. I noticed it too.
A brothel, I guess, is a more sensitive term.
Yeah. A bordello.
Yeah, I like that.
It's a little classic.
I can't remember what sequence of events leads him here, but carry on.
And so you might be thinking to yourself, well, if Oppenheimer was number 2, what could possibly be number 1?
I mean, last year was Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris.
Well, yeah, 2022 was Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. It's not. It's
I have stopped thinking that I can guess your favorite film each year.
This was a movie that I saw. I've seen this movie also several times. It's a foreign language film, although it's also been shown in English in America. It is a film by a legendary filmmaker.
I know it now.
Yeah, that's right.
Now I know.
Yeah, exactly. It's it has a different title in its native Japanese than in English. The title in Japanese is translated to "How Do You Live," which is the title of a book in Japanese. It was translated in English, changed in English as "The Boy and the Heron" by Miyazaki. Hayao Miyazaki is "The Boy and the Heron."
First film in how many years? Like
13 years.
13. Jesus.
Yeah, it took 10 years to make.
That's right. It's important work.
It is absolutely. And I don't even love Miyazaki like that. Similar to Paul Schrader. I don't love Miyazaki movies. I think there's maybe 2 other films of his that I think are really any good.
One that's been covered on this
Porco
very
Rosso,
podcast.
which is, again, also, it still might be my favorite. I don't know yet. But
Time
any
will tell.
movie of his that's about planes is good.
Okay. That's an interesting criteria, but I
Porco
got
Rosso and The Wind Rises are 2 of his best films, and they're about dudes in planes. He loves planes. I can tell. He clearly wishes he was a pilot, and not an animator.
He went down the wrong path.
He did. He should have just been like a bomber pilot. He would have been happier. But oh well.
We live and we learn.
Yeah, and we play with the hand that God gives us.
That's right.
And he had to make films about planes instead. But he makes a movie that is better. I'm not even prepared to talk about it, but it really is a stupendous. I would recommend watching it in Japanese. I do think the dub is better in Japanese. Although I will say, having watched it in English, that Robert Pattinson is the only one who really does the English counterpart of the character exactly. He understands. He understood. Yes, he did the voice of the character exactly like the Japanese version.
Well done.
He sounds exactly the same, and it's quite astonishing.
He did his homework.
How good he is. Yeah, he's the one standout in the English dub. But otherwise, I think it's just better in Japanese. It just rings better. It sounds nicer. This looks like where you live.
Yes, it does.
It looks like the factory down the street, the warehouse.
Exactly like the factory. Maybe my block is based on Cleveland.
Speaking of, we'll get to that in a second.
Okay, intriguing.
But yeah, so The Boy and the Heron, How Do You Live, however you want to call it. It's the best film I saw in 2023. One of the best films I've seen in my life. I wept to great tears when I saw this. And also, a lot of these films have a theme of, the world coming to an end. Oppenheimer's about that.
That's true. That's true.
And so too is, How Do You... Knock at the Cabin is about that,
That's very true.
And The Boy and the Heron is also, in many ways, an apocalyptic film. It's about the end of a universe, the destruction of a universe, and it's just beautiful, At one point, a boy confronts his mother after she's dead, and she says, she just has to go through a door so that she can be born. And he says, but if you go through there, you'll die. Spoiler alert, I guess, for the movie. And then she says, it's worth it because I'm sure you'll be a great son. And it's just like, well, this is fucking
rending.
This breaks the heart. It's an emotionally powerful film. It's the best thing that man's ever done. The animation's also better than anything he's ever done, except for maybe Porco Rosso. But yeah, How Do You Live?
You put in the time.
Well, The Boy and the Heron. That's the best film of 2023 by a country mile.
All right, I haven't seen that one actually either.
So yeah.
A lot of your tops are not on my list at all.
So there you go. Do you want to keep talking about the stuff you saw that you liked?
Yeah, I guess I don't necessarily have a top 10.
Well, just name some ones you think.
Some pleasant surprises. Films I did not expect to have the reaction I had to. One from January, Megan. Much more.
We saw that together, didn't we?
We did.
We both had a similar reaction to that film.
Much more profound.
Yes.
Than I anticipated based on the premise.
I think camp is dead.
Yeah.
I think camp is a horrible thing because that movie is just sad.
Yeah, it's a tragedy.
It's not funny at all.
It's a dark tragedy.
It's a film about
I've never felt such empathy for an artificial intelligence.
exactly. It's about consciousness being born, and about the horrors of having to live in a world knowing that you're gonna die.
Yeah, I agree. It's all about mortality.
Yeah, it's just like there's nothing funny about it. She does a little dance. Okay, so what?
Yeah. She sings Bulletproof. I
Yeah.
don't care. Sad. So that was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah,
in how much more profound a film.
That's a great example of how even the stuff that is not the best of us on 23 was still incredible.
Yeah.
Because that film was not one of the best things I saw, but still just shocked me.
Similarly, No Hard Feelings. I thought
I
would
liked
be
that too.
a just straight up done comedy, but I felt a lot. from
Yeah.
It was funny,
It was pretty
and
funny.
it was also
Heartfelt.
quite emotionally intelligent.
I saw that maybe like a couple months ago for the first time,
Yeah, I saw it
And-
near the end of the year too.
and I was like, oh wow, this is actually pretty good. I'm surprised it didn't do that well.
Yeah, I know. Likewise.
So yeah, I know, I agree with you. All the stuff you've said, I agree with so far.
And then I think actually my favorite film of the year that I saw in that year is another one that we saw together, Iron Claw.
I like that. Yeah,
It was,
that's another really good movie.
Really good. And then saw it. I rewatched it with Christian.
Yeah.
Yeah, both of us wept. I think I
Yeah.
wept the first time as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, great film. I want to watch because I saw Martha Marcy May Marlene and liked that, but I never saw his second film, something Nest.
Yes, I know
I
what
want
you're
to see
talking
that.
about. Yeah.
Because he's elevated my interest in him as a filmmaker.
Yeah,
Been
no, I
elevated
understand.
By the Iron Claw.
It's like when I saw The Pale Blue Eye, and I thought, you know what? I guess I like Scott Cooper. The thing is, I guess he's a good filmmaker.
I surrendered.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so that's a wrap of 2023.
Yeah.
Back to 2024
That's where we
and
are.
Palestine.
Yes, I think both you and I are probably the best people
Yeah, we have the most authority to talk about the problems in the Middle
I think
East.
we easily have the best take on Israel and Palestine.
Yeah. You ever hear the Woody Allen joke?
No.
There's an old joke he told. This was back in the 60s. I think he was doing a show with I forget who it was. Was it Billy Graham?
Okay.
The evangelist preacher guy. You
Okay.
remember
Yeah.
Billy Graham?
I sure do.
He was doing like a weird special talk show thing with him. Like I forget it was on NBC or something. And then he did like a Q&A with the audience at one point, and someone asked Woody, "Do you think that the Israel should give back the land to the Palestinians?" And Woody says, "Do I think they should give it back? No, I think they should sell it back."
Okay.
And that's all I got to say about that process.
Funny.
That's about all. That's all I'm going to say about it.
No commentary.
No comment. At least not for this
commentary.
program. Not
Fair
for
enough.
that. Not if we want to get that movie sponsorship.
That's right.
Absolutely not. But what else? Oh, I don't know if you heard the news in terms of local news. They're
No.
closing down the Lagunitas Brewery here in Chicago.
Oh, son of a bitch. No, I didn't hear that.
You didn't know about this?
No.
That's why I was when I said about that factory thing. Like,
Damn it.
yeah, they're closing Lagunitas. I think they've permanently closed down the lounge area. That's gone. That's done.
Damn it.
So we can't go back one last time. The factory is closing, I think, at the end of the year,
Spencer will be crushed as well.
and so they're just
been
gonna
a favorite spot.
Yeah. So they're just gonna keep the one in California.
Well, fuck. See, I was hoping because they've been like, oh, we're gonna reopen our kitchen soon. They had pretty good food,
They did. I remember we went there once.
and they've had no food for a while, and they kept saying we're bringing it back, but that was all just to keep us at bay.
Yeah, it was a
I
ruse.
guess.
It was a farce.
Well, they shipped out everything and then blanket back. That'll be interesting because that's a huge space.
Yeah. I don't know what they're gonna do with it.
I wonder if CineSpace would take that over. With
But
it
they're
being
already
so
been sold.
close.
CineSpace has been sold too, hasn't it?
Has it?
Yeah.
Well, fuck me. This is all news to me.
Yeah. This whole part of town is just going down the crap.
The industrial section of Washtenaw is just getting gouged, I guess.
It's nothing but landfill now. We'll see what happens in 10 years.
I assume it's it's most likely unrelated, but it has been a particularly the crime spike has been particularly noticeable
Has it?
this spring and summer.
In the
Or
area?
early summer. Yeah. In
I
the
feel
area.
great about parking my car on the street now.
Yeah, you should.
What's a pizza?
I didn't tell you to drive.
You're a bastard.
You usually don't.
Yeah, I usually don't. You're right. But what is this movie?
At this point, Howard has become the new manager for this girl's band because her previous manager was scummy, and he's looking for new purpose now that he's decided he's stuck in our world and never going to get back to his own.
Oh yeah, by the way, I forgot. I had a little
I love
ginger.
the derelict apartment building.
Yeah,
Ducky, I can't believe this.
it's not that bad. I'd get an apartment there.
Absolutely, it's got character. I do always wonder, like, what's the, you know, what's the
I'm about to meet secretly with
graffiti that the production does, like what words are
Oh,
they
yeah,
picking
yeah,
for their
yeah, yeah.
background graffiti?
matches. It'll be the answer.
Was there something else we wanted to talk about? Now it's all gone out of my brain.
I mean, you definitely, that's the thing, is we typically, either before or after the podcast, will journey over to the local diner, Don's, and we'll have a little chat, but you tend to interrupt the chat because you're like, well, this is for the podcast. So I'm sure that there were at least 2 topics that were meant to come up just in idle chit-chat
Just
that
happened.
have been kicked down the road, but now I don't know what they were.
Yeah, I don't know either.
So,
That's all right.
I don't know.
What's going? So, what's the context in which you saw this movie for the first time?
I mean, yeah, they picked it as a bad movie night
Yeah,
because it's so generally,
considered.
considered to be a hilariously low-quality film.
But
I
you-
think across the board, because I watched it with Spencer and Christian, and I think all 3 of us had a superb reaction to it. It is funny because it's very much, two separate films. The first one is more ridiculous than the first, or sorry, the first is more ridiculous than the second half.
Yeah.
But both have quite their charm.
I see. Well, so the first half of the film is this.
The first half of the film is like a fish out of water story, and then the second half is like a proper like action film. And Howard is much more charismatic than you would expect. I will say. I think we're getting to the turning point pretty soon here.
Okay, that's terrific. Speaking of George Lucas,
Yes, let's.
Tracy Letts. Yes, George Lucas recently
Yes,
was invited to Cannes
that's right.
to accept the honorary Palme
Palme
d'Or
d'Or.
for a lifetime achievement, basically. You know,
Because his career is over.
this is
By
getting-
choice.
This is getting a little risque.
Oh, it's gonna go much further than
Yeah?
what you see now.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Again, this seemed to be a big criticism for people, is like it's too weird. I can't handle the human woman being attracted to the duck, but I'm like, he's not a duck.
I'm sorry.
You need to get
He's
over it.
not a duck. He's a duck man.
He is a evolved
Yeah.
duck species.
He walks on 2 legs.
He's capable of complex thought.
Yeah.
Why shouldn't he be happy?
Yeah.
They say love's strange.
He's got charisma, undeniable.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely. Was this also probably designed by the Muppet Factory or something, like Jim Henson's workshop or something?
That seems likely.
Because I know that George Lucas worked a lot with them. You know, they did Labyrinth.
Yeah, right,
and,
exactly.
and some other things.
Some other
the Muppet,
financially
Yoda
unsuccessful
Yoda
films.
is a Muppet.
That's right. Frank Oz.
So it stands to reason that this was in some way designed by them. It's a very expressive.
Yeah, the
Face.
the puppet is spectacular. Cannot resist
Oh
your
my God.
intense animal magnetism.
Whoops. Anyway, where will it all lead?
It's getting pretty steamy.
But yeah, so I wish they should have brought this up at the Cannes Film Festival, like for all your first
Yeah, let's talk about
American
Howard the Duck.
Graffiti, Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Howard the Duck.
Yeah.
Maybe we should show this to Benjamin Netanyahu. Maybe this will make him re-examine his priorities in
It
life.
definitely has a message of tolerance. That's inarguable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, this guy.
This guy. And he brings an 11 out of 10 commitment to his role in this film. It is
Yeah.
extremely spectacular.
Speaking of.
Probably best known as the principal in Ferris
My
Bueller's Day
God.
Off.
Also speaking of Beetlejuice.
Oh yeah,
He is the dad in
he
Beetlejuice.
is the father in Beetlejuice.
He's the now deceased father in Beetlejuice.
Bill,
Because he's dead.
because he's dead.
Not in real life, though.
I don't know.
I think he's alive in real life, but in the
I hope
Beetlejuice
so.
2, the second movie in the trailer, they
He's
established.
buried.
Yeah. So he's not
We
going
know
to come
that
back.
for a fact.
And we do. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
fine.
he's absolutely spectacular. in
Do you
this
have any
film.
Do you have
I
any
hope
movies
you
you're
like
excited for in the second half of 2024?
it. So many.
Oh, so many.
And then watch. I'm going to say 3.
That's a lot.
Horizon, An American Saga.
This is a Kevin Costner summer.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm so pumped. Here's the thing. I'm just as excited as you are. I recently saw one of those. Was it GQ? Variety did like a they did like a interview
Retrospective,
where an interview where they went through over his biggest roles in his
Yeah.
movies. And I just remember watching him talk about every single one and just looking at him thinking, God, these all are like such good movies.
He does have an incredible career.
There's some I hadn't seen yet. I'm like, I gotta watch. I'm just gonna spend the summers watching Kevin Costner movies in preparation for the greatest.
Have you been digging in?
Not yet, because
Okay.
I'm stuck on some other stuff. Oh, that's the
Got
stuff
it.
I was gonna bring up too. Yeah, the fucking 10-hour Filipino movies. I'm
Oh
watching.
yes. Put a pin in that.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like Open Range. I haven't seen that one. Have you seen Open Range?
No, I've not seen Open
I'm gonna
Range.
watch Open Range. I'm gonna do a double feature of Waterworld and The Postman.
Nice.
Then of course there's his baseball films.
His baseball.
He's got
films, yes,
He's
that's
got
right.
more than 2.
Is really?
Because he did Bull Durham.
Yep.
He did a Love of the Game
Yeah.
for Love of the Game, and he also did Field of Dreams.
He did do Field of Dreams. Probably the bigger of the ones you just listed.
Yeah.
I think you left it for last.
Yeah, so he
That's
might
more than 2 then.
Yeah, there might be a fourth one that I'm forgetting, but those are at least 3. And then there's also, of course, one of my favorite movies ever, by Clint Eastwood, Perfect World.
I've never seen that.
Oh my God, that's an incredible film.
All right.
He's great in it.
Put it on the list.
Then there's The Untouchables.
Untouchables.
You know, he's
My personal favorite, JFK.
JFK, back and to the left. Back
And to the
and
left.
to the left. Did he do another film with Oliver Stone that I'm forgetting?
I don't know. But his like closing argument monologue at the end of that movie,
Yeah, it convinced me.
fucking incredible.
Well, you know what? You're right. He did get killed, wasn't he? It was Johnson.
And he chokes up, which I think I sent this maybe in a message at some point. Apparently was not a direction from Stone, but rather his just genuine emotional reaction to his speech about the promise of, American freedom, which convinces me that his film about the conquest of the West is going to be fucking spectacular.
Yeah, absolutely. His first of 4 parts.
4 parts?
It's supposed to be 4 parts.
Oh shit!
Because
I
he's
only knew
done
about the 2.
the first 2. He's done.
Right.
He's getting the financing for his 3 and 4 right
Jesus,
now. He's
okay.
already started shooting 3,
Hardcore.
but he hasn't got the financing to finish it yet.
A rare appearance of Sam Worthington outside of the Avatar film.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's always exciting.
Yeah. So Horizon is an American Saga. I wait with bated breath.
Nice.
June 28th, baby. Mark the calendar.
Megalopolis will be
That's right.
very interesting.
Of course, speaking of George,
release.
because who presented him the Lifetime Achievement
That's right.
Award at Canada, if not Francis Ford Coppola?
Who else?
Francis Ford Coppola. That's my Peter Falk.
It's pretty good.
It's all right. Anyway, Megalopolis is another just. We didn't think we were gonna get another
so many years in the making.
Coppola film, and it's this one.
American Zoetrope.
It's definitely gonna be the Barbie,
Yes,
or the Oppenheimer to Kevin Costner's Barbie.
because they're so those
Yeah.
fit those
They're truly just.
fit those molds so
Yeah,
well.
I think so.
Yeah,
Because I think
that's
one's a
right.
much more hopeful, optimistic. I think Megalopolis is about how we're all gonna die.
Yeah.
It's the fall of the Roman Empire.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I can't wait. It's gonna be the big downer of the year. Anyway, what's the third one?
That's all I can think of actually.
You
now.
said there were 3.
I split Horizon into 1 and 2,
Oh,
which I
see.
shouldn't have.
Well, you
It
know,
is one
there's.
film.
I'm looking forward to the next M. Night Shyamalan film.
Oh,
Trap.
yes, you know what? And
Trap.
I'm looking forward to his kids' film, too. It's pretty
Ishana,
good.
Night Shyamalan.
Ishana.
What's it called?
The Watchers.
The Watchers.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah,
Great summer to be a Shyamalan fan.
great. Could be the summer of Shyamalan.
Absolutely.
They're gonna have to share it with Kevin.
But yeah, I also have pretty high hopes for Trap.
I think. Trap. Beetlejuice. Honestly, I think it looks good. I know you don't think so.
I'll let you have that opinion for yourself.
Okay.
That can be
Paul
yours.
Schrader's got another movie coming out this year.
Well, shit,
Who's
he's
it?
unstoppable.
Oh Canada is what it's called. Guess
Okay.
who stars in Oh Canada?
Who?
2 people. He's reuniting with his American Gigolo star, Richard Gere.
Gear's back in gear.
Who's playing the young Richard Gere in the movie? Jacob Elordi.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
He got him.
He got him.
He got the Saltburn, Priscilla, fucking Euphoria star.
Guy. The tall man.
He got the tall man who likes
Soon to be Frankenstein's monster.
in
Creature.
Guillermo del Toro's.
Yeah, very looking. I know that's not this year, but very much
Yeah.
looking forward to that.
That's right. Speaking of those 3 amigos. Speaking of the one my favorite, Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu.
Mm-hmm.
He is currently working on or in pre-production for his next film, which is supposedly going to star Tom Cruise.
Oh, really?
He's working with the Tom team.
Okay.
We're getting.
Okay.
Tom Cruise is back, baby. I mean, he never left.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I don't think he's had any downbeats.
You know, that was another film I saw last year that I loved. Was Dead Reckoning, the Mission Impossible film.
Yes. I thought that's what you were gonna say when you're like, I know it's a film you didn't like.
Which one did I say?
Yeah, Oppenheimer.
Oh yeah, but yeah, no, that would be a great number 2. Is Mission Impossible. Look, I stand by that Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning is maybe like the second or third best movie in that franchise. The movie is just 3 really
it's
great
just-
set pieces that I remember each one.
It's just there's not an impossible mission. All of the missions they do in the film.
Well, it is impossible because they didn't even get to
Incredibly
do it. They didn't even finish the mission.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like
That's how impossible
it's
it
the
is.
first
It
half
takes
of a
2.
Mission Impossible movie.
No, I think
It's
it was
not
great.
a full meal.
Oh, it felt full to me. When it was over, I thought I'm satisfied.
I was very dissatisfied. The train sequence at the end, spectacular.
Yeah, that's a great. Nothing like a good train sequence.
Yeah.
Even the car chase in was it Rome? It was in Rome, right?
I believe you're right.
That's a great sequence.
No love for that sequence.
I love that sequence. That's a great chase. That's because car chases are
Different strokes.
tough. They're not really tough. Car chases are tough. They're not really as exciting as foot chases.
Unless you add some slapstick in there.
Yes,
As they do.
it's like Buster Keaton,
It is very, very.
and it's great. Or like Jackie Chan, it's great.
Yeah. You know, I mean, not, but yes.
And then the airport sequence at the beginning.
I really don't like that sequence at all. Everyone keeps calling that out to me.
All right, whatever. You're
I
just
found it very drab.
well. Anyway, and then there was how the Kenneth Branagh Poirot film that came out last year.
Yes. Oh, that's on my like pleasant surprise. Well, not pleasant surprise, but
Yeah, no,
Films I enjoyed
that was a
those.
really
Yeah.
great film too.
was
The
a
more
really
I think
great
about it,
film.
there's just more films that came out last year that were great. But anyway, yeah, this year I'm excited. There's a lot of stuff
yeah,
going
who else are you looking forward to?
on. This year,
Yeah.
shit,
Shit.
I can't think of it now.
Yeah, but they're out there.
But I know they're out there. If we were to make a professional list, it would. Well, here's the thing. I already feel like I've seen a lot of the films I think are the best films I've seen all year. Earlier this year. I was in New York to visit a friend of mine, and then the 2 weeks I was there, a
Anyone I
week and a
know.
half I was there. I saw like a bunch of movies. Here's the thing about New York is that they have just like 10 times as many just like, second run movie theaters as we
Art
do,
house
or
stuff.
art house cinemas that we do in Chicago, which is just nice. It's the nicest thing about New York. That and their trains. So I
They
just
do have
saw a
the
lot of
stuff
stuff there that hasn't. Some of it hasn't even come here yet.
Right.
So I can tell you right now, the films that I'm probably going to talk about again at the end of this year. I saw Coup de Chance, the Woody Allen film,
Right.
which was Woody Allen. I have nothing to say. I have nothing but good things to say about him, and that was a great movie.
Do you need to say more?
I don't need to say more.
doesn't.
It's in French. There, I'm going to say that he did a movie in French. He finally did it.
And you like it.
I love it.
He loves it.
And let's see, what else? I saw Kudashans. I saw this Italian film called La Chimera, which was also just really good. Really surprised me how good it was.
Lovely.
Not enough magical realism in cinema,
Agreed.
which is weird because it's kind of Taylor built, Fellini-esque kind of imagery that's surreal, but also just not as fantastical, but also treated like it's normal.
Right.
Yeah, that movie has that. It's very good. La Chimera. And then I saw this Romanian film that technically came out last year, but it came out this year in America called Don't Expect Too Much at the End of the World,
Okay.
which is like
Good title.
2 hours and 45 minutes. Most of it takes place over the course of one day. Like the first 2 hours of it takes place in one day. Just watching this girl and just run around in Bucharest and just trying to fucking just get shit done, working like 3 jobs on no sleep, and it's just like, oh my god, this is brutal. And then the last half hour of the movie is like one shot, just like a static shot on a movie set. It's amazing. It's also really funny
Okay.
because Radu Jude, whatever, I don't know how you pronounce his name. It's a Romanian filmmaker. He's kind of does like black comedies, I guess.
Okay.
And this movie's in that vein. It's very good. I'd recommend it. And then, this one, I don't want to talk about it now. We should do another episode at the end of the year about this
Okay.
one. We could do a whole separate episode on this one because we saw this movie that is technically, I've been trying to see for like 3 years now, or something like that, called The People's Joker.
Oh, yes, that's right.
I finally saw it in New York.
I'm glad you saw it.
When Tommy and I saw that movie, and it was over, we walked out of that theater at the IFC Center. We saw it. We walked
Nice.
out in a daze.
Okay.
That was one of those movies where just for the next 10 minutes we were just walking. I'm like, I didn't know where I was. I was so disoriented. I looked up at the sky and I thought the sky has never been this white before. It's like it's white out. My eyes were just, I couldn't
You've been
handle light
blizzarded?
anymore. Yeah, I was violated by that movie.
But in a way you enjoyed.
I mean, I don't know if I enjoyed it, but I don't even know if I could call it a movie.
Okay.
But it's absolutely an experience that everyone should have.
Noted.
Everyone should experience The People's Joker.
Evil has landed. The world is in great danger.
The world's in great danger.
The world isn't
Back to Howard the Duck. What's going on in the film right now?
At this point, an evil entity from
Pazuzu?
a more or less like a dark dimension creature has possessed the body of Ferris Bueller's principal.
Oh wow! But he's fighting
He's
it.
fighting to keep it at bay while also driving them away from the cops, who are now chasing them
Wow!
because they broke into the secret laboratory.
And it still hasn't gotten very sexual yet.
I mean, we had that one sexual sequence, but
Oh, it doesn't get hornier than that.
no, that's the
Oh.
horniest it gets.
Damn!
I mean, it definitely the relationship.
I wanted
the
some more
relationship
boning.
involves.
I wanted to see some
But I don't
real
think it
like
gets more.
hardcore.
Yeah, I think that's as explicit.
I wanted
we
his
get.
duck bill to just be sucking them titties.
I mean, I think it'll happen off screen.
Oh yeah. So I'll have to imagine that part.
Exactly.
Yeah. Where'd you get this hat? You're wearing like a Chicago hat.
It is a Chicago hat.
It's a hat that has the stars, the 4 stars, and the blue line.
Yeah, the things with the rivers.
Where'd you get
and-
this? Why are you wearing this?
It's at a thrift store.
Oh yeah, you go thrifting a lot.
Your
wife goes thrifting
My
a
wife
lot?
goes thrifting a lot, and I join.
Yeah, and you have to be there sometimes.
And I often acquire things as well.
Like this
So it's a
Roman
good thing.
Polanski book you got me
Like this Roman Polanski.
because you're such a big fan of Roman Polanski.
No.
On the record, you are a huge fan of Roman Polanski.
I made it explicitly clear to my wife that I would make it explicitly clear to the seller, which I did not,
Mm-hmm.
that it was a purchase for a friend.
And I'm that friend.
You are that friend.
It's good to know that I'm somebody's friend.
It's I'm
important to have
I'm
friends.
thinking about you on my days away from you.
Because
That should mean
sometimes,
something.
I will say this, sometimes I feel like I'm a duck from an alternate dimension.
That tracks.
All right, you don't have to
That resonates.
I didn't agree that quickly, but yeah. So it's good to know that I have people here on this in this dimension.
Thinking about you
Yeah.
when I'm away from you.
Yeah. Oh.
Not all the time. He's not Jenning anymore. Someone else.
I think you need some coffee.
He just needs some coffee.
Oh my God.
Great diner sequence coming up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Better than the great diner sequences of I don't know, Coen Brothers movies or.
Absolutely. Best action sequence in a diner that I can remember seeing.
Wow.
I don't remember that many other contenders, but of the few I do,
Right.
this is far superior.
And they're in a
This is a
sushi.
diner that serves sushi, which is a thing in Cleveland, big thing.
No, yeah,
It's a Cleveland thing,
absolutely.
Pets on the premises. Hey,
offensive.
have a heart. Seeing eye duck.
Seeing eye duck.
Touching, isn't it?
My God.
It's great, man. It's already gone so far away
From what it was.
from the original concept. I can't imagine the frustration of having to cut a trailer for this film and give like a reasonable expectation of
Is
what
that-
you should think you'll see.
Oh, she looks familiar, but
Costume was really radical. I bet he's crazy about
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I'm very attached to it.
your dad.
Her name is Crystal, though. That much I know.
oh really? Oh yes. We should gotta look up Crystal. Why didn't her career pick up after this? Whom did she refuse to sleep with?
That could be the only reason.
Because already, just her 5 seconds, I feel like she's got charisma.
She's stolen the scene.
Yeah.
You are about to witness the end of the old world and the birth of the new.
Spectacular.
She the evangelist or something?
Spectacular. Good stuff.
Kill somebody.
It's okay, Howard. What
But yes, this was acquired
for 3 years?
at a thrift store. I don't know why I wear it, other than...
We're talking about the Roman Polanski book.
Oh yeah, I've moved on.
Dr. J.
No, it's a good book.
I got myself a book as well.
What did you get?
The Once and Future King, T.H. White. I didn't have it. I remember reading it around high school, being very fond of
As
it.
in, literally, you read it around the high school. You
Yeah,
were walking
sure.
around campus.
Perhaps it was the summer after graduation. I can't recall the exact time.
Yeah, yeah.
But in my teens, and I don't have a copy of it, so acquired that for myself as well.
Dark overlord of the universe?
That must be quite a responsibility.
They premiered Godard's last film projects at Cannes this year.
Oh, yeah?
So I'm excited to see that. It's like a couple of like short films. Like one's like a 20-minute movie, the other one's a 40-minute film about the 20-minute film.
Okay.
Very Godard stuff.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
When is that expected
I have no
to reach?
idea.
Okay.
No idea.
Fair enough.
There still is movies from last year that haven't come out in America. Like Takeshi Kitano, the Japanese film director, made a film that came out last year in Japan. Still has not come overseas.
Frustrating.
Very frustrating.
Not even to the
Small universe.
well versed in
No.
finding
Trust
rips.
me.
Got it.
When I know, I know.
No, I don't doubt your information.
Absolutely. There is something to be said for the fact that two of the greatest filmmakers of the 21st century both came out of the Art Institute of Chicago.
Elaborate.
Well, Hong Sang-soo
Didn't know he came
studied
out
at
of
the School of the Art Institute,
Specials, what's wrong?
Nice SAIC.
and
Good for
so
you.
did a Pichapong Weerasethakul.
No idea who that is.
He did Uncle Boonmi, who can recall his past lives, Tropical Malady.
No.
Uh,
Are we like all in the
I don't know what to tell you, buddy. He's a pretty big deal.
Cool.
What's wife? Oh boy.
Good job, SAIC.
Yes. Anyway,
We love a Chicago.
I've been going through a phase with my music.
Uh huh.
It's like
So I was at a bookstore recently,
Yeah.
maybe like a month or two ago. It was, you know what it was? It was the Exile in Bookville.
Yes.
It was a bookstore that was on the second floor of the of that building, the Culture Center, I think. Not the Cultural Center, but for whatever there's
Fine Arts Bowl?
the Fine Arts Building.
Yep.
The second floor of the Fine
I know
Arts
what you
Building
mean.
has a bookstore in it. I went in there. They had a few of these like 33 and a third series books, which is basically like about music around the world.
Okay.
And there were 3 on Brazil, and they were both.
Yes,
all
yes,
3 of them
I
were on
remember
3
showing
different
me.
albums.
Yes.
And so I picked them up. I got them on the spot, and I read about one of these albums, and then I started listening to it. It's changed my life. You know, first of all, the album in question is called Clube da Esquina, which means a corner club, basically, in English. And it's by Milton do Nascimento, who's like a really well-known musician in Brazil, starting in the 60s, late 60s, and then pretty much to today, he's still making music. He recently did a song with, I think, Esperanza Spalding.
Okay. Interesting.
You know who that is?
No.
Oh my God. It's hard to talk to you sometimes, but the album is like so incredible because it's like a double LP, and it's like the book it talks about how like all these great musicians were just brought together for the sessions for this album, and how each song, no two songs have the same exact musicians playing on the record, and it's just a constant rotating roster of great people on like guitar and on bass, and all the people who brought in were songwriters and all this stuff. And you listen to it, and it's just like, my God, this is like... It's like if Paul McCartney did a world music album, it would sound something like this.
Okay.
It's one of the greatest albums I've ever heard in my life.
Okay.
And so because of that, I've been listening to nothing but Brazilian music from...
A lot of rock, specifically?
No, because it's not even a rock album.
Okay.
It's just like popular music from like the 60s. So it's like a combination of like orchestral stuff with like some guitar accompaniment. Sometimes it's more lo-fi, sometimes it's more orchestrated, but it's like imagine it's kind of like when you think of in America like that era between Dylan and the big band era, from like the 50s and 60s, like in between there,
a transitional
like
period.
some kind of thing. That's what it sounds like there's electric guitar in it, but there's also like strings at times. So it's just a great, I would recommend it.
Badass.
It's one of the, again, and I've been listening to music by by bands too. I've been listening to a lot of Brazilian rock, like I was listening to Charlie Brown Jr. and Legião Urbana, which is Urban Legion in English. And I was listening to, this ska reggae funk band called Skank.
Great name. Absolutely perfect.
Fantastic name. They're great music too. So yeah, I've just been...
Ska's underrated.
Yeah, listen to some Brazilian hip hop.
Okay. Are you you staying in that era, or you're...
No, I'm going all over the place.
Okay.
I'm going across like decades of Brazilian music just because it's all I want to hear right now. And it's also the same time that I'm watching more Brazilian movies again. I'm getting back into that. A lot of Cinema Novo and all that. I'm feeling the call of home, Isaac, is what I'm saying. I need to go back to my motherland.
You're trying to touch your roots?
Yeah, I'm trying to touch them inappropriately.
Okay.
Oh, the action sequence is still going on?
Yeah, it's...
Hasn't happened yet, really.
We're in the thick of it now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they're going to kill him?
Yeah, they're
going to kill the duck?
They're going to kill him and cook him.
This is really a metaphor for anti-Semitism in America.
Yeah, I told you. It teaches tolerance.
Yeah.
Preaches tolerance.
But also, I've been getting into the films of a Filipino filmmaker.
Oh, a specific Filipino.
Yeah.
I thought you were just saying Filipino cinema in general.
No. I've been watching the films of... I don't know how it started, but basically I started getting into the films of Lav Diaz, who is known... as an art house filmmaker, he's known for the fact that his films tend to run long.
Okay.
He's part of the slow cinema movement.
How long are we talking?
His longest movie, at least the one that I've seen, is a film by the name of Evolution of a Filipino Family. It runs at about 10 hours and 20 minutes.
It's long.
It's a long movie.
Extensive.
It's quite extensive. And I finished Evolution of a Filipino Family. I read it like a book, basically. I watched it like a book, where I would watch an hour, take a break.
Take it in doses.
Yeah, I didn't watch it in one sitting.
Seems like the right way to do that.
And let me tell you, it's definitely... Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's picking up.
This is like a Lav Diaz film. Oh, wow.
Many different eras.
Yeah, absolutely.
Within one film.
Small waterfowl.
Release the small waterfowl. Great tagline.
So
yes,
I'm distracted. This is, it's hard to
It's
ignore.
an engaging film.
Yeah. I will say that. I want to know the context more. But yeah, Evolution of a Filipino Family is it's also so demanding in that it's presented in the least presentable way.
Sure.
Where it's not just that it's 10 and a half hours.
You have to think through it to follow it.
It's 10 and a half hours. It takes place over the course of almost 20 years under the Marcos regime in the Philippines.
Okay.
So it's not linear though. And it also is not edited in a way where it tells you when there's a jump in time.
Got it.
It's just like one scene follows another, and you just have to know.
That's for you to figure out.
And then there's the fact that it's shot on like low-budget digital cameras in 2006.
Okay. That doesn't sound helpful.
So it looks
To engagement.
sometimes just pretty poor in quality.
Sure.
And then there's the fact that the audio oftentimes is clearly, they have not restored or fixed the audio in this film because it chirps a lot. There's a lot of breaks in the audio and
Unpleasant.
cracks. So I just watched it almost on mute.
Okay.
You know, I'll read the subtitles. Fuck it. I don't
Yeah,
know.
there you go.
You know what I mean? And let me tell you, after it was over, I thought, you know what? It wasn't bad.
It sounds horrible, but I'm glad it spoke to you.
And since then, I've started watching another one of his films. But here's the thing, because it's the longest one and the most unwatchable in a way,
Okay.
everything since then is a
For
cakewalk.
sure, if you can get through that.
Because all of them have
Everything
much
else
nicer
feels
audio.
more
They're
pleasant in
not as long,
comparison.
even the longest ones, and they look much nicer.
Still sounds like suffering, but
No, it doesn't. It sounds much better. Oh, well,
Okay.
oh, you mean like literally? It sounds like
it sounds
not
like
the
you
audio.
suffered through these films.
No, because
But
I'm
I'll
watching.
take you at your word.
I'm watching this other one called From What Is Before.
Okay.
It's only 5.5 hours long. Which
Only 5.5.
Again, you say that to someone else, it'd be like, that's really long.
very long
But after
film.
watching 10.5 hours, you're like, no, are you kidding me? That's half the length.
You've completely recontextualized what I should expect.
You know what I mean? It's actually really short for him. And I've watched about half of it so far.
Okay.
It's just phenomenal stuff. Like, there's a story, and it's like, I want to know where the plot's going. I'm like, what's going to happen here? There's a mystery, and these characters with these backstories that are really intense. And there's like a scene of this. There's like this little lot. I don't know how to describe it. Like, what's the illness when a person like is like this and they can't speak and they're just like. I'm doing pantomime right now. People
Yeah.
can't hear this, but
Okay.
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I
Can you physically
don't know the word,
describe
but
what that
I
is?
gotcha.
There's a character who's like that in the film.
Okay.
And she gets raped at one point.
Ew.
More than once.
Ew.
But once on screen.
Ew.
Yeah, I know, it's disgusting. But like, you're watching the film and thinking, all this is so intense and so like awful. It's amazing.
I can't do harrowing films.
Harrowing.
Yeah.
Well, it's presented in a way. Here's the thing: his films also don't. They're not. I mean, they're dramatic, but they're not dramatic in their presentation. Because usually it's very static shots that sometimes go on for like 10 minutes. Like, you'll see a character walk across a field,
Yeah. Doesn't
and
sound
that'll be the
escapist.
whole
Sounds
shot.
anti-escapist.
Yeah. And
Not for me.
but then the more you get into it, it's just like, yeah, you know, it's just a vibe.
It's just.
It's just a vibe. You just get into it, and it's like time stops meaning. Like, time. What does that even mean? You know, I'm gonna be here for 5 hours. Okay. So what? What does that mean?
Be at peace.
Yeah, exactly. You're just kind of like in the zone.
I don't think it would work for me.
It's a zone that he gets you into, and then once you just get into it, it's just like, it's really rewarding. And again, the cinematography is beautiful, and the filmmaking is really like, because it is intense, but he's talking about stuff. Because it's very much, his filmmaking is political in the sense that it's very influenced by the dictatorship in the Philippines
Sure.
that he lived through, and also the fact that, you know, that hasn't changed that much. I mean, the president of the president of the Philippines right now, I say in quotes, is the son of Ferdinand Marcos, the dictator. You know, so it's like,
Right.
what has changed in the last 50 years in that country? Not much. You know what I mean? It's really fucked up, and him talking about it in his movies, and they're also quite spiritual in a way.
Okay.
There's just a lot going on in them, even though it is just a bunch of static, slow, black and white shots. It's just a lot, and it's so good.
You're unpacking a lot there.
You know what I mean? It's just like, it's a complete. We talk about a full meal. His movies could feed you for a week,
Okay.
much like Howard the Duck.
Much like
I think the imagery in this film is more disgusting than anything you'll see in a Lav Diaz.
much like this character feeding himself on the power of the semi-truck.
So wait, I'm confused.
He's-
Is this world-ending character? Are we supposed to
Yeah.
dislike him?
You know, yes, I think so. But he's also incredibly charismatic, as with so many. Of
He
the
saved
characters
Howard
in
the
this
Duck.
film. He did save Howard the
So how can we really dislike him if
Exactly.
we like Howard the Duck?
Because he's gonna kill Howard's girlfriend.
But why did he save Howard? Because he needs him for like some thing?
You know, I don't remember.
I'm not quite sure.
And I cannot promise that there is any explanation to it whatsoever. Posing among the other farm creatures.
Yeah, I get it.
Finally using his duckhood to his advantage.
That's right. Even though he's still wearing pants.
No longer ashamed of his place in this world.
Oh yeah, he's like Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah, exactly. He's exactly like Rocket Raccoon.
Wow. I definitely I'm gonna watch this movie later.
I hope you do.
I'm definitely gonna sit down and watch it like I watch a Lav Diaz film. I'm gonna just like let go,
Just absorb.
and absorb the images and listen to the sounds.
Try and let it process over time.
Absolutely.
I think that's the best way to do it.
I'm excited for this. Are there any? I just don't know where to go from here.
What do you mean?
I just, I'm just watching. I'm just like, I don't even know what I can
You're
talk
sucked in.
about while this movie's playing. You know?
Too sucked in. Did you see Wim Wenders' new film?
Which one?
The one that released in the U.S.
Perfect Days?
Yes.
Yeah, I did.
What'd you think of it?
I liked it.
All right.
He makes good movies.
There you go.
He did a movie also. I guess it's a few years old at this point, though. That was about this Brazilian photographer.
Okay.
That was also pretty good. I watched that. Like around the same time that I saw Perfect Days, I was going through a little Wim Wenders. Kind of.
Oh yeah.
I saw a little like I saw like 4 or 5 of some I hadn't seen. He's got a few of them. Some of these guys are a bit prolific.
Yeah,
I don't know
absolutely.
if you know that about them.
Absolutely.
They're still finding Fassbinder films that he made before he died.
It's crazy.
It's nuts. We should live to be so prolific.
Yeah, I mean, who knows how many episodes will go undiscovered.
That's right.
Of this very podcast.
Yeah, we've already lost a
We
couple.
do have quite a batch of lost episodes.
This is what's made it, which is only more depressing. Ooh.
Oh yeah, that's right. They're going to the nuclear reactor.
Oh, he needs a power
He needs to
source.
eat some more power.
Cuyahoga.
very hungry. Cuyahoga.
Where's this?
No, New York, right?
This is New York?
New York State, I think.
This is New York State?
I believe so.
New York State's never looked so flat before.
I could be wrong. I don't know where Cuyahoga is.
Cleveland. We're still in Cleveland.
Well, yeah, we're back in Cleveland now. But
the diner can't be that far away from where they were driving.
He drove overnight,
All right.
all through the night. It's daytime now.
Oh my God.
It apparently took them all night to figure out how to fly this plane that happened to be behind the diner. Quite convenient. This sequence, spectacular.
Yeah. Oh, this is like the sequence in Beyond Thunderdome,
Yeah,
where they fly the little thing.
it's kind of like that.
We don't need another hero.
I like that he has a helmet.
Which is what Howard the Duck is. He is a hero.
He is a hero. Not the hero
that we
that
deserve.
the world deserves,
But the hero
the
that we
one
need.
that it needs.
He's gonna save the rainforest.
He's gonna save his girl. Well, that's the important thing.
Gonna make it rain in her forest. Because
Doing a long way for that, but yeah. but no contention.
yeah, fine. Well, I'll allow it. I don't know what else is there to talk about. It's been a year. You think that we'd have more to talk
You
about?
think that we'd have more to talk about?
We gotta prepare.
You have some upcoming travel. You can talk about your travel.
Oh, I mean, what do you want to know?
I want to know
Who are
where
you?
go.
Who are you to ask me?
I'm putting you on the spot.
I mean, I'm going to Canada. It's a lovely place. I don't know if you've ever been to Canada.
Only Vancouver.
I've never been.
It's nice.
Anything more to say about Vancouver?
I ended up there accidentally on Canada Day, which was kind of nice.
What is that? It's like Independence Day?
Yeah, it's their 4th of July or what have you.
Because we don't call it U.S. Day.
No, we don't. But they do, or at least I believe they call it Canada Day. So that was a nice accidental, neat thing. My sister went to school in Tacoma, Washington, so I think it was like a 6-hour drive up to Vancouver.
Oh, yeah?
Maybe less. So popped up there for a day. It's pretty cool. That's all I got.
All right. Well, I'm going to Canada. I'm going to Ottawa, going to Montreal, going to Niagara.
You've been through Canada before?
I have twice, technically.
I see.
This will be a third time, but I haven't been to Ottawa.
Neither have I.
So it'll be fun. And we're going to try and one on our way back we're gonna pass. Because have you heard about this Hindu temple in New Jersey?
No.
It's like the second. It's like one of the biggest temples now in the world.
Damn.
They built like a huge fucking Hindu temple outside of Trenton, New Jersey.
Of all the places.
Yeah, it's like the second biggest Hindu temple in the world.
That's crazy.
It looks
I
big.
did not know that.
Have you seen the photos of it?
No, this is all new to me.
Look up the photos.
I will. I carry on.
Can you do it on that phone?
Yeah, I think so.
I got my phone. You want me to just...
I'm working on it.
Okay, all right. Jesus Christ. I'm trying to help you here. Yeah, so we're going to try and pass by that on our way back because it's like impressive. We don't really have to call in advance or reserve in advance to visit, but it's pretty big.
Trenton, New Jersey.
Yeah, just look up new like Hindu temple U.S. New Jersey. There's only one, right? It's like
It's coming up.
coming up.
Oh wow, yeah, that's crazy.
I feel
That campus is huge.
Yeah, man. It's brand new, brand spanking new. It's the
That's
biggest
wild.
attraction in New Jersey as far as I'm concerned.
Covered with 10,000 sculptures.
10,000 sculptures. No shit.
Are you gonna see all 10,000?
I mean, if we have the time.
Sounds like a big commitment for an add-on to a trip.
Well, we'll see.
But I wish you the best.
And then later in the year, gonna go to Hong Kong.
That's right.
That's a dream.
That's the biggie.
That's the biggie. That's a dream to visit Hong Kong since I was a boy. So hopefully that'll be satisfying in the way that one would
It'll live
hope.
up. Yeah.
I mean, it's a different Hong Kong than the one I imagine in my head, I assume, because the Hong Kong in my head is pre-handover.
That's right.
No People's Republic of China trying to crack down on my dojo. You know what I mean?
Precisely.
Fuck up with my. Can you even be gay in Hong Kong anymore? I wonder.
There's one way to find out.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go there and
Test the
suck a lot of
boundaries.
cock.
You gotta test the boundaries.
Yeah, absolutely. Can I chew gum?
Are there any? Can I chew gum? No, definitely. I know that one for
Absolutely
a
not.
fact, and it's a hard no.
Yeah.
Are there any like Jackie Chan filming locations that you're
I'm sure. I mean, I'm not looking for them specifically.
trying to encounter, or just you?
Because the thing is, I wanted to go take a tour of like the Shaw, like Golden Harvest Studios or the Shaw Brothers Studios, but they don't
Okay.
tour those. They're just kind of closed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they don't. You can't tour them. And so like they should restore those.
Yeah, that seems like a low-hanging fruit.
It really does. But there was actually online. I found this guy who does like a lot of urban travel or like urban urban hiking,
Urban exploration.
urban exploration, and he like just went into those studios, like
Uh-huh.
snuck in,
Yeah,
and he found just like celluloids of like reels of films in like the basement, and just like it's like
That's really cool.
and it's just like a bunch of shit that they just have lying around.
Carry on.
Who's that? Who's calling?
Frank Romano III.
Oh my god, he's trying to interrupt our background noise.
At 11:15, the audacity.
Yeah, what the fuck? What do you think he's calling you about?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it's an idea on a pitch, and he wants to pitch it to me.
A pitch for what?
A film.
Oh yeah?
Idea.
Does he
I'm
do
sure.
that a lot?
Yeah, definitely.
He pitches
We
you at
talked-
11 o'clock at night?
We talked last night.
Oh yeah?
Pitches.
Do you want to tell me about these pitches?
We can get into that.
Well, would he-
Let's finish
would he-
your-
would he be
let's
okay
finish
with
your
that?
things first. Yeah, I assume so.
Well, I'm just
It's
like I said,
all-
I'm just
it's all
excited about
wide
Hong
open.
Kong. It's gonna be a dream come true. Blah blah blah. Get me to one of these pitches.
Oh yeah, he's looking worse and worse. by
The
minute.
makeup is great.
Spectacular, and he's bringing his A game to the performance.
Yeah. He is Pazuzu.
There's a variety in the mix at this point.
Uh-huh.
We've got a Stephen King-esque
Oh yeah.
diner pitch.
Speaking of diners.
Diner outside of time, which when
Was
I
Genghis Khan
initially-
going for a cup of coffee?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's cool.
When I initially pitched the broad concept of it to Spencer, she said that doesn't sound like anything I would be interested in at all.
God bless her.
And then apparently I just did a terrible job because she had to sit through me and Frank working out the pitch when we were
For
traveling
whom?
together. For whom?
For whom would this pitch be?
For the chief of police of Naperville, of all people. Interested in getting into the film producing space.
You get funding where you can, huh?
You get funding where you can, man.
You gotta know movies.
He hasn't. It was funny. Yeah, that was his. He's like, it's a diner outside of time. I only hear pitches. So Frank and I were working on ours, and after she heard the extensive one, Spencer was like, it's the best idea you've ever had. So really roller coaster on that one.
Yeah.
Also, there's a raunchy, female-led comedy raunchy rom-com in the mix.
Mm-hmm. Wish it was a video podcast so people could see my facial expressions.
A woman trying to cheat on, or a woman whose husband cheats on her, and she's trying to have some revenge sex.
Yeah.
But is not doing a good job of it.
Oh yeah, she keeps fumbling the ball on cheating on him.
She's too out of practice.
Oh yeah.
So she's reclaiming that for herself. That's a pitch that's in the mix.
Yeah.
There's a anechoic chamber ghost hunting pitch in the mix. So it's probably about one of those.
Cool.
If I had to guess. A guy who steals people's mail.
I can't wait.
It's like a fetish.
I can't wait when
That's in the mix.
I can't wait for when you bring me on earlier on this project.
Yeah?
Yeah. Instead of that fucking. I remember watching the premiere. I went to the premiere of the
rematch.
Yeah. And I remember watching, thinking, you know what? I could have been that guy.
Which one?
The guy you thought I should have been.
Yeah, you could have been that guy.
I could have been that guy.
You're right. You could have been.
And you know what? I probably would have gotten along better with the actors on set.
Probably.
I don't know how well he got along with them.
I don't know either.
Sounds like it wasn't great.
Because they act, you know? You don't know who's
right.
acting like they get along and who's actually feeling.
See, I'm dating an actress right now.
Yes, you are.
And I think she would be really offended by that statement, Isaac.
You can't trust them.
Yeah, you can
probably be more offended by that.
Yeah. Also, you know, what is their stance on Palestine?
For me?
For actors.
Oh, yeah.
They have to take a stand.
Absolutely.
Because otherwise, how can I really watch their movies if I don't know their stance on
No, I fully agree.
World politics.
To quote Bo Burnham, you know, these days it's not just like about like, do you want some Funyuns? It's like, how does Funyuns feel about institutional racism and what are they doing to fight it?
Yeah, exactly. You know, if Selena Gomez is not constantly denouncing things in her songs, then I don't think I can support her anymore.
Absolutely. And every time something new comes up, I'm like, how does Lin-Manuel Miranda feel about it? And how has he not tweeted about it?
Yeah.
It's been 6 hours.
That's right.
Get your shit together.
Absolutely, I feel the same way.
Do your civic duty.
You know, Sydney Sweeney, I don't know, she's been awfully quiet about the close of the Lagunitas Brewery in Chicago.
That's right.
I think that speaks volumes as to her character.
Absolutely. I've written her off completely myself.
That's right. Her tits be damned.
What did you just say before that? It brought a thought to mind, and it immediately escaped my brain. We're getting late. This was supposed to have started
like an hour
earlier
than it did. We would have been on our A game.
Yeah, the
Thank God it's not a
intelligibility
long
is fading
film.
quickly. I mean, we still got a third act to get into here.
To get into?
Yeah, we're not into the end.
How
game
long is
yet.
this movie? We got 20 minutes left.
Okay. We're getting close to the end.
We're in the end game.
Oh yeah, this action sequence is actually spectacular as well. The last 45 minutes of this movie is just nonstop banger.
Oh yeah?
Material, which is beautiful.
I can't wait.
Yeah, the lighting, the mise en scène. So if I remember correctly, he's trying to summon some of his buddies, his Dark Lord buddies, to possess Howard's girlfriend's body as well. For your context.
Oh, I see. He's got
time
a
for Howard to step
whole
up.
dimension. So it's almost like H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah, very Lovecraftian.
Yeah.
Gotta have some sexy leg shots.
Yeah.
Keep the interest.
She does have some sexy skinny legs.
Sexy skinny legs.
Like a great Mongolian woman.
I'll have to take your word.
No one really knows what Mongolians are like. That's what's great about them. I can make any joke about Mongolians, and no one would know if that's true or not.
You're not worried about...
There's like 6 of them.
You're not worried about alienating the Mongolian audience?
No, there's like 6 of them, and none of them are on this continent. It's just like... That's actually not true. At some point, I think it was in the 40s or 50s, after the great cultural uprising in China, I guess, there was a kind of an emigration of Mongolians to America. You know, in fear of the Chinese, kind of invasion of Mongolia. I'm not quite sure. I don't know my history that well.
Revenge.
Yeah, that's right. They were going to get back at them for that wall
That's
business.
Right. You made us build a whole ass fucking wall.
So,
So long, so tall.
So a lot of Mongolians actually, I guess, were relocated to New Jersey,
That's where I would go.
and they formed Mongolian biker gangs.
Okay.
That's why Bruce Springsteen sings of the Mongolian gangs, and I forget which song it is. But that's a line in one of his songs about Mongolian gangs. I'm like, there are Mongolian gangs in New Jersey? Turns out there were, yeah.
Interesting.
Not anymore, maybe, but
Speaking of
Mongolians?
upcoming films, the bike.
The Bike Riders.
Bike Riders.
Oh yeah, that one.
That's one to look forward to.
That one was
That's around the corner, relatively.
Yeah, I think
The
so.
summer.
The summer. It's a summer film. It was supposed
Which
to
it
come out
shouldn't
like
be.
in Christmas of
It
last
should not
year.
be a summer film, but it is.
Yeah, it certainly is not going to be that kind of a movie.
No.
It's not really a Easy Rider.
No.
But then again, even Easy Rider is not Easy Rider when you actually watch it. You're like, this is kind of a downer. This is kind of a downer. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. The next Jeff Nichols movie,
That's right.
The World Needs It.
The world. This is the time.
The world needs laughter.
What the world needs now.
I don't even have to look at the credits to know that Michael Shannon's going to be in it.
I mean, I think you did already confirm that on the poster.
Yeah,
You
but
went to see
before
The
that,
Phantom
I
Menace.
knew.
Well, yeah, no, you walked up to it and you're like, "Where's Michael Shannon?" And
And
you're like,
there,
"Oh, there he is."
Yeah.
Not a top billing, but he's
No,
on there.
He's in the top 5.
No, just on the poster. I mean, he didn't make the.
Oh, yeah,
he
he's
didn't
not-
make
he's not the star.
He didn't make the big text.
Austin Butler's a star,
He's
right?
in there. Austin Butler, Tom Hardy, somebody else.
Yeah, it's someone else, but it's someone else, and then
Some
Michael
other
Shannon.
person. And of course Michael Shannon, because you can't leave him out.
Yeah, you can't do a Jeff Nichols film without him. So that's exciting. No, yeah, it's gonna be a good year. I can't wait next year when we do another one of these.
the wrap up. Well, yeah, I guess that's the thing. We'll see how we can
Do another one of these.
close the gap here.
Yeah. Maybe not wait 14 months for the next one.
Wait 14 months for the next one.
I really can't wait to when we're done here and the car I parked outside is still there.
I mean, I'd feel confident about that.
Yeah.
It would be there. Just there may be one or two bullet holes in it.
Oh, wow.
I exaggerate.
Has there been a lot of crime on this street?
Compared to previous years, considering that usually on my particular block there's been none.
And there's been
On,
like 2?
Yeah, about maybe 2 or 3 on Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, yeah.
There was a full-on proper like West Side Story rumble on the block.
Wow.
Like, machetes and chains and shit.
Holy shit. And you saw this?
Oh, Spencer and I were actually gone for it, but Christian took some video of it from his
apartment.
and when we got back,
It was in the street?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Several of the neighbors came and were like, "Hey, just so you know, this just happened." And I was like, "Yeah, we already had like 3 people tell me that."
And I didn't know about
And then maybe a couple days before that, Scout and I were out for our night, constitutional,
this. Yes.
and there were a couple guys hiding behind cars with arms, ready for a retaliation to a thing happening further down the street.
Oh my god.
So it's been, compared to what it's been before, it's been a little...
They just let you walk by?
They did.
They were just like, hey
I
man.
had like my podcast like on speaker, and yeah, they looked at me, I looked at them, and it's
I
like,
was like, all right.
and on we go. Yeah,
The neighborhood's changed, huh?
neighborhood is changed. Hopefully not long term. We'll see.
Well, yeah, you'll see.
This summer will be
A
quite
test.
telling,
Yeah.
I think.
And then you'll have to find another apartment to put that painting in.
That's right. Spencer made the mistake of telling my mother some of that.
Yeah, and
And now
then
every phone call has been
it's like,
like,
are you okay?
"So when are you guys calling the moving truck?" All right, slow down.
Yeah, calm down here. We've
Many-
been here. How
many,
long have you
many
been in this apartment now? This has been the longest
This
apartment you've
is,
lived in.
yeah, by a good stretch. I think 6 years.
Has it been 6 years?
2018, I think was
Yeah.
when we moved in. So yeah, 6.
Wow, that's crazy.
It is crazy.
So what's even crazier is
been a
that
good
you lived in
stretch.
like 5 apartments in the span of 5
Yeah,
years.
yeah, it is. Yeah, I think the only other place we stayed more than a year was the one in Logan Square, and that was not even 2 full years, I don't think.
Wow, that's wild.
It is.
I remember I slept in that apartment, on the couch
And
in the Logan Square
Logan
one.
Square one, you've slept on multiple of the couches.
Yeah, but I was there for like a day or two. 'Cause I was
really?
working on that script.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that.
Yeah,
A good time.
it was a fun time. Yeah, I mean, so strange time.
Strange time.
They're all strange times. You know, what's amazing about the good old days is that you don't realize they're the good old days until they're done.
That's
I was
right.
thinking that today, even though I thought, there's so much I wish I could do with my life right now. But I thought, this is probably the good days that I'm living through, and I just don't.
You don't know it
And
now.
I just don't know it yet. But these
Yeah.
are the good days.
I mean, it's Midnight in Paris syndrome, right?
Yeah, romanticizing the past.
That's right.
I'm trying to romanticize
Actually,
the
I had a-
past before it's even happened.
I had that's the key.
Yeah.
That was an interesting reaction for me seeing Furiosa.
I'm thinking 10 years ago.
Yeah, I think I came out of it not a little depressed, not because I didn't enjoy the film. I did enjoy the film,
But
but I think a subconscious part of my brain that expected to go in and suddenly disappear into the way I felt when I was 20 when that first one came out, probably
19.
19. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. No, 2015, right? Came out?
Okay, then 20.
But yeah, very young. Turns out it didn't. I didn't feel.
Yeah.
I didn't feel the carefree levity of a 20-year-old.
Well, you're not going to
watching
get
this
it
film.
from the same things that you saw. See,
Exactly.
That's another thing watching these Lav Diaz
The
films.
expectations.
Is that I'm watching them. It's just like, my God, I didn't know movies could do this.
Different sensations.
You know what I mean? It's
different
like
reactions.
I'm almost 30. And I'm watching something, and it's just like I'm still seeing new things that inspire me and make me feel like that it's like they're discoveries. And this movie, from what it is before, is 10 years old. It came out in 2014, but I'm only seeing it now,
Right.
and so it's just like
It's still a
it's just
breath of.
it's a
something
discovery, and so there's so much great cinema out there to discover, and you will feel young again.
I'll have to look for that.
Yeah.
I'm feeling very old cinematically.
I'm sorry.
Stan Winston brought his A game. This creature looks fucking fantastic.
Wow, look at this.
Lack of motion blur aside. I guess that's an assumption.
I
but
feel that
I would put
honestly-
I would put money on that being a Stan Winston.
Honestly, I feel like this way about Howard the Duck. This was probably an experience where you thought, wow.
It was a revelation.
Yeah.
It's definitely at the top couple of the shitty movie nights.
Just like Jason Takes Manhattan.
Just like Jason Takes Manhattan, that movie.
Yeah, you're just like, wow.
That's a easily rewatchable, like multiple times a year.
Yeah,
Which is
absolutely.
a rare thing to say for a film.
For a Friday the 13th sequel.
Exactly.
For the 8th Friday the 13th film.
Next up, I think there's 2 Friday the 13ths at the kind of tail end of the year this year.
Oh, yeah?
And nearly back to back.
Wow.
We got one in September. I'm thinking New Blood will be the
Yeah.
Friday the 13th screening
I'll
for
have
that.
to make a day for that one.
And then there's a December Friday the 13th. So I'm thinking of branching out and switching over for just that one time to some non Friday the 13th slashers, do like Black Christmas or something like that.
Do Krampus?
Yeah, or Krampus. Krampus would work.
Krampus is great.
Do something holiday themed.
Yeah.
To mix it up.
Force your friends to watch Society. Were you there that night?
No, I don't think so.
You've missed out on some great experiences.
I'm sorry.
But you were there. Yes, you were there for the LSD hockey night.
Yes. LSD,
Whatever it was.
whatever the drug was.
Um,
Yeah, that was a particularly.
That was a great
insane
one.
We absolutely should have bought lottery tickets. I don't know why. I didn't
Well,
think of it in the
hindsight
moment.
is always
We could all
20/20.
be millionaires.
It's always 2020. But there was a. So it was a time when I watched with Tommy and Alan. We saw the film Society. I knew about it. I hadn't seen it, but I knew that night when we were thinking of what to watch, that let's. And I said, just trust me. Let's just watch this. And we did, and we changed.
We weren't the same
We
men
weren't
at
the
the
same
end of
man
it.
at the end of that one. We were shocked by what we had seen. So, but that's a film where it's encourageable to not know going into it what you're gonna watch.
Right, an unadulterated experience.
Yeah.
All right.
So I would recommend that one if you're gonna get a group of people. Force them to see Society.
Experience together.
That's really the way to describe it. Force them. Lift them.
Tie them down.
Lift my stocking.
No, lock the doors.
You know, I think the backlash to Lost in Translation could be even greater when you think about it. So the fact that it isn't that big suggests that that movie survived.
I agree.
You know?
It has stood the test of time now.
Yeah, that's right. It's cancel proof.
You know what's surprising to me? No one's made a disaster film out of the Iroquois feeder fire. That'd make a hell of a
Oh, yeah.
Titanic-esque
Sure.
escape picture.
There's something
We've
to
got all
think
these
about.
microcosmic stories.
No, absolutely. I was thinking about something the other day. Oh, I was thinking about how I would love to see a True Detective season that was set in Chicago, first of all.
Great
which would be
start.
a change of pace for the show because they're usually in small towns.
Yeah.
But also, I thought, aside from the setting, what would be cool is if you did a True Detective season where, you know how they love to do their time jumps?
Yep.
Like it's set in this time and this time. You did 3 or 4 different time periods, but each one, a different set of detectives in each one. So it's like, you do one that's like at the beginning of the 1900s,
Okay.
and you do another, but it's all one overarching mystery that
That's cool.
connects across generations,
That's cool.
you know? And then
It all ties back to
you know,
some
and then,
central...
then you do one in the early 1900s, then one in like the 40s or 50s, then another one in like the 80s, then one in present day.
I like the pitch.
Yeah. Like
Sold.
Yeah, you see? Let's get Nick Pizzolatto on the phone and be like, hey, no more of this femme shit. We know you don't like it anyway. Get the boys back in the room.
Voice back.
We're gonna save your show. Did you see the last season of True
No,
Detectives?
the Night Country one?
Yeah.
No.
It was
It's
good.
nice to see Jodie Foster again.
Jodie Foster
But I
is...
didn't see it.
What a woman. Yeah,
What a
yeah,
woman.
yeah. No, she's great in it. She's the best part of that season. And it's not a bad season. It's pretty good. The worst one is still the second one.
You know, I didn't see that one either.
It's not that great.
All right, I'll skip it.
First one's great. The first one is just
Right.
revelatory. And the third one's pretty good, too.
I never saw the third one either.
You never saw any of them besides the first one, is what you're saying.
Besides the first one.
Yeah, we'll watch the third one, and then
Okay.
maybe check out if you after because the thing about the fourth one is they have a lot of just random ass references to the first season.
Oh, interesting.
Like they have the same circular symbol.
Okay.
They have that on this season, and then at one point a character references a character
From Sue.
who sounds like a character named Travis Cole,
Okay.
who must be related to Rustin Cole because
Okay.
his name's Cole. And like he dies in Alaska, and it's like, oh, you know,
Okay.
says his character was from Alaska. And then at one point, another
Feels
character
deliberate.
says the line "time is a flat circle."
Okay.
So it's like just a bunch of random connections. You know, like why? No, okay, cool, I guess. Doesn't mean anything.
No. But I like your pitch.
George Lucas, what a film! Yeah, I think it's a great pitch. We just have to think of a crime. It would be like some kind of occult shit, clearly, like some secret society thing
Yeah.
that would span, or maybe you could do a thing where like a person who was a victim of one crime in one era becomes a murderer in another. That's, you know, an art.
Kind of a Ty Sheridan.
Yeah,
or,
yeah.
I'm sorry. Who am I trying to think of?
Oh, you're thinking of
Ty West.
Ty West,
Ty
yeah.
West shit.
that kind of thing. Yeah.
There, that's another film I'm looking forward to. Maxine, the conclusion
Or
of
the
his
third
trilogy.
of the Pearl series.
Yeah. That'll be exciting.
Yes, the best thing is done in ever, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say so.
I would have to agree, wouldn't I?
If you count the trilogy as one story.
Right. Otherwise, it's like, they're all fine.
Then X, I think, comes on top so far.
Yeah,
Granted, there's only 2.
Is this over?
Yeah, the now Howard is they're in love. He's her manager. She's a huge rock star. Everything worked out for everyone.
I actually have a.
She dedicates the song to
I
Howard.
actually have a pitch for a movie involving a rock band.
And a duck?
No.
No, I'm not
Drop-
interested. I'm not interested.
Okay,
at all.
well then we don't have to talk about it.
No, tell me.
Oh no, we don't have to talk about it. We'll save it for the next one.
Give me the broad strokes, and then you can dial in.
No.
All right.
Like I said, we'll save it for the
Is
next
this a
one.
'90s movie? Because this feels very '80s.
Well, it could have been the early 90s.
Maybe the cusp. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, George's like films that he's directed is actually a pretty short list.
Technically, it's only 6. And only 4 of them are Star Wars.
And then the additional ones would be
THX-1138 and American Graffiti.
Does he co-direct one or two of the indie movies? Or
Well, here's
is it
the
all
thing.
to
Here's the thing.
Spielberg?
When we talk about directing, in quotation
Yes, yes,
marks,
yes, yes, yes.
I would argue that he is absolutely a director in all 6 Star Wars movies.
Well, yeah, I would agree.
In the sense that he's very involved creatively in the process.
It is his vision being executed by.
The fact that
other
he's not
men.
technically the one on set every day giving the directions to actors and such
Right.
is besides the point. On the literal definition of director, no, he never directed any of the Indiana Jones films, but he
Interesting.
was very involved in them.
Right.
He was on set.
He was on set
pretty much
for
there the
the
whole time
majority
for
of
Raiders. And Temple of Doom, I would say, is more of a George Lucas film than a Spielberg film. Tonally.
Spielberg agrees.
Yeah. So I would, in my mind, I think of George Lucas as directed like 12 or so movies.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know what I mean? In my mind. But yes, technically he's only done 6.
Go Howard, jam out.
Like I would be interested to know how involved he was in this.
Yeah, likewise.
Was it just like he had an idea, he found people to do it and said go make it, or was he like on set at different points and being like you got to shoot it like this?
I want to know the pitch for this one too.
I think the pitch was just he liked the Howard the Duck, the comics.
Yeah,
Let's make a movie.
let's make a movie. It's funny.
He got the guys who-
I have this contention with Alan. It's like I feel like, especially in the first half of this movie, it's very akin to like Ted. I think people who say they like Ted and deride this movie
Is there
need to take a long, hard look in the mirror and think about how those opinions can coexist.
Well, look, you got me sold after watching this film, kind of, sorta. I'm gonna go home, maybe even tonight.
Duck coach.
And what does that even mean?
I have no idea, but it's a
Like
job.
he coached him on how to be a duck?
Yeah.
Like what are
that
the
would be-
mannerisms of a duck?
That would be my presumption, yes. Is that he explained to you how to be a duck. But yeah, so, Joe Johnston, nice.
That's right.
You're gonna watch this film full on now?
Yeah.
I think that's an excellent choice.
How many minutes do we have
I
left in
agree.
this?
We're down to less than 5,
Yeah.
4.5.
Well, we're
on
wrapping
our
up
closing
soon.
moments here.
We should plan on doing another one of these.
Yes, we should plan on doing it.
When do you want to do another one?
Tuesdays are good days.
Tuesdays are good days? I don't
Yeah.
think I'm doing anything next Tuesday.
All right. Keep it that way, except for, doing this.
Yeah. Oh, you should stop it from starting
Switched
Emma.
to, yep. How do I do that?
Hit hide.
Oh, God.
Now we're off by a second. You've ruined the legitimacy of this.
What happened with your days switching to Tuesday, Wednesday? How did this come to pass?
There was just, I guess, one of my coworkers had to stop working Mondays or had to work Mondays.
Okay.
So I lost my Mondays and I got Wednesday instead.
How do you feel about it?
Indifferent, except for the fact that I can't go to the Art Institute anymore on my days off.
That's right.
Because it's closed on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
Oh, Spencer tells me that the Museum of Science and Industry is changing its name.
Yes, it is.
Do we know to what?
No, we do. If you look, I forget what it's called. Its name. What's ironic about it is that they're changing it to the name of a donor, like a big donor. But the
God
donor doesn't even live in Chicago anymore.
God damn
He
it.
left the city. Lives in Miami now, I think.
What a terrible choice.
I don't know
it's
why.
It's a perfect name.
Yeah.
It's got a great logo too. That MSI with the cube.
Yeah.
No notes.
No notes. Well, this city is a whore.
Yeah.
You just gotta wait
Breaks
for all
my
these
heart.
people to die,
Breaks my heart.
Because when is that lease up for the Sears Tower?
I don't know.
They don't
don't have
own it.
long.
They just have a lease for it.
The Willis family.
So assuming if they don't re-sign, I'm assuming it'll just go back to its pre-existing name.
That'd be great. We do tend to just keep things named as they were before anyway.
Yeah.
Except for Northerly Island, which always, I'm like, come on. If we're going to do it, let's be consistent. Just keep calling it Meeks Field.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
it's Meek's Cutoff actually.
Is it?
No.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Inconsistency. Can't stand it.
Yeah. The city's changing, man, in ways that we can't even foresee.
Lagunitas is closing.
Lagunitas is closing.
Cinespace has been sold.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. This neighborhood's going downhill.
It's falling apart. Tasty Freeze, gone forever.
What do you mean?
The one on Armitage, closed, permanently
closed?
Permanently closed, sold to a new person who's going to turn it into something completely different. I know. I just learned this the other day. City's falling
There
apart.
goes my childhood.
City is falling apart. At least
my-
Margie's is still there.
Oh, don't. Now we jinxed it. Oh, no.
My bad.
There's 2 locations, you know? As long as the Bucktown one stays
I was gonna
open.
say, yeah, there's only one location that has the
What, they see, now this
steep nostalgia.
episode's going to end on a downer now.
Well, you know, maybe that's the times we live in.
Apparently there was 8 people who did Howard the Duck.
8
There
people.
were 8 people listed for Howard the Duck.
That's impressive.
That's probably because they got a bunch of different
A
little
bunch of-
people.
Or like a
different
bunch of
scenes.
puppeteers
Yeah,
for like different
sure,
parts.
sure. Yeah.
Someone's doing the bill, someone's doing the eyes.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
That would track. Bad
Stunt
would
duck.
be. Stunt duck, hell yeah. Man, that would be great to have on your resume. I was stunt duck. Yeah, we got some, I think it's some original music for Howard the Duck. You'll love to see that.
We do love to see it. But yeah, no, is there anything? Can we
But that's
do
like a
anything nice to
comical-
say?
Yeah,
before
I
this
don't
episode?
know. Come up with something quick if you want to end on a positive note. You have
A minute.
60 seconds to think of something that would bring joy and levity to the end of this episode.
Oh, we're all gonna die. None of it matters really. You know?
It's getting worse, but it'll be over
Yeah.
soon. Sooner than you think.
Sooner. Oh yeah. Honestly, the asteroid's coming down any day now. Don't look up, folks. That's all I'm gonna say.
Panavision. Panavision's a positive note to end on. Wasn't Panavision great? We all loved Panavision.
They don't make it anymore though.
Well, son of a bitch.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you're right. That didn't help.
We've got 30 seconds.
We got 30 seconds.
We're never good at
I think
ending
it's
these.
I think it's a lost cause on a positive note ending.
Well, look. I just want to say it's
Yeah,
fun
go
doing
ahead.
this, Isaac.
It's good to be back.
Let's hope to do it again soon.
We'll aim to be much more consistent this time.
I'm Fabrizio.
I say that every time though. I'm
is us.
Isaac.
And this was
And you're gonna
background
see
noise.
background noise.
So
We'll
thanks for
see
joining,
you
Tommy.
Next time, Tommy.